Well, good morning everyone, and we're back today with another question, hoping that you're okay. And we've got another long day to look forward to, but hopefully this video is going to give you a bit of food for thought in terms of our next question to answer, which is from Nick Goodwin. Thanks very much, Nick, for getting in touch. And that question is, how much does swing speed affect the distance you hit the ball? And it's a really interesting question because, of course, we would directly say that swing speed is the one thing that affects distance more than anything else. But we'd be wrong to presume that. And what I'm going to show you now is that it doesn't matter how fast or slow you swing the club, it's the direction the golf club approaches the ball that's going to make it go further, not the speed. Clearly, if we all swing the club from the right direction, the ball's going to go as far as that swing speed will tell the ball to travel. So without further ado, this is the club that we all want the ball to go further with, our driver. And the headline on this particular video is hit your driver further, gain some club head speed. And whilst we're answering Nick's question at the same time, it's really important for you to understand, where your distance is going to come from and not just what affects it. So, first of all, you've probably seen many people swing the golf club really quickly who don't hit the ball far at all. You may trace so hard to hit the ball as far as you can, and yet you still don't gain the results that you should. And that's all to do with the position of the club as it approaches the ball and how it contacts the ball, what kind of position the club face is in. So remember, the majority of those swings that we'll see tend to come back inside very quickly, and that's a myth that we'll try and get rid of. People who think they can draw the ball, take the club back inside, look at the position of the club head, it's way behind me, and from there it can only lift. And that causes then the dreaded position where the club comes outside and really steep. So again, as I said before, it doesn't matter how fast your club head speed is from that position. You're just going to hit across the ball and very steep. This can cause you to hit that side shot as well, where you'd mark the top of the club, ball goes straight up in the air, big loss of distance. What we're interested in, strike-wise, is if we look at my hand in this position, we want the golf club to come from this position so it hits it square on, just like this. We don't want the position of the club to be coming this way. That's like a slap, and that's where all the spin comes from. So if we create left to right spin, it's almost as if you're playing tennis. And if you're out there playing tennis and you want to hit a drop shot, you create a lot of backspin. Ball doesn't go very far, stops on landing. But if you want the ball to go with high speed, someone not be able to get it when it lands, then you're going to be creating that top spin shot that gets the ball to travel much faster because of the direction it's in. So let's have a look and see how we can improve the way that you approach that ball with the club in the downswing. And we'll start with the driver. That's the longest, and remember, because it's the longest, it's the one that sits shallowest to the ground. If we have a look at this angle here, this is really simple. After I take a good grip on the golf club, all I'm going to try and do is to get that golf club back out in front of me as I turn, and you can see now that it's created a nice line with my left arm at 9 o'clock. But as I set the wrist, this is the trick. When I get to my central position with my hands in the middle of my sternum, the butt end of the golf club is now looking at the ball. Can you see that? I finish my turn, and the important part as I start my rotation is to keep the butt looking at the ball. Now the golf club approaches from the inside, and that's when I can come through and strike it at my best. Now, if I show you that again in slow motion of where the club is, let's track the club. Comes back into position here. Let's have a look at that one there. Winds back up to the top. Look at the way that the clubs remain shallow club's back in the position, and now it swings through the ball from that arcing inside position. Watch what happens when I get that position or the transition at the top wrong, and I could start that position with my chest. Now look what's happening. The butt of the club is looking down here and my arms are way too far out in front of me. Okay. We can get as complicated as we want with this realistically, but we're really talking about how much distance that we can gain. And what makes golf swings difficult and to get the right plane in the downswing to hit driver properly is that we bend over. And posture makes this a little bit more difficult, because when we're standing vertically, we really understand what we're trying to do. So there's a great drill that we can do, club out in front, and just try to copy the plane of this swing so you can see it's still parallel to the ground, and then I pull the butt forward, then it releases, it'll come back to the same place. So the object of this exercise is to actually see if I can keep the plane of the club the same. There's the plane of the club there, same in this position, parallel to the ground, and even as it hinges, parallel to the ground, then I have the ability to pull the butt of the club forward and down the club goes. So if you get to the top of your backswing and you're in this position, as you can see, you're in big trouble, because now you're going to come down on it far too steeply. So let's have a look at that again, something to take away and practice. This is the angle that I now need to copy. Same angle here, finish my turn, watch what happens as I start down. The angle stays the same. Now the golf club can attack the ball from the inside. These little drills you can do without hitting the golf ball, they can be done at home during this period now where you're in the garden, you've got some time to do some drills and really start to feel the difference. And you can break the swing down into those little pieces. First position, rotate the shoulders and get the club to 9 o'clock. There we are. Club face is looking marginally down, but watch now as I hinge those wrists. And there's the butt end of the club looking out towards the ball. I can finish my turn, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to keep the butt end of the golf club looking at the ball for as long as I can, and now it's going to release forward. Simple X is like putting something on the ground in a position which is just inside the golf ball on the way back. So if we have a look at this position here, you can see there's a nice arc to that ball. Up it goes, back down over the ball and through, and you can see how you can get the club to work back on the right side. So instead of working on your speed, I would really be wanting you to work on the positions of that golf club during the swing. And once you've practiced them enough, it's time to hit a ball. But when you come to hit that ball, unfortunately you can't be thinking about your arms, because that's just way too difficult. So what you should be thinking about doing then is thinking about your rotation only, starting the downswing with that rotation of the hips through, weight transfer to the left side, and just let the arms come back, follow you in the downswing, and see how that goes. So this is the way I would practice. I'm certainly going to be doing a nice couple of drills first, making sure that I keep that golf club in that position behind me. And then once I've done 3 or 5 of those, now it comes time to hit a ball. So let's have a look and see. Club stays out in front. Remember, butt to the ball. Bang, and off it goes. And we really get a good strike from the inside. And that's how you're going to gain more distance. So remember, it's not always about speed. Speed will come when you become more confident. But of course, as you're pulling the club from the inside, it's likely that you're going to gain more speed anyway. Everything that comes from over the top, that won't gain any speed at all. But what it will do is it'll put lots and lots of spin on the ball, and that's how you're going to end up slicing it. So to hit it straight, golf club back on line, back down on the same line, and that's how you're going to gain more distance. Any questions on what I've covered today, by all means get in touch with me by email. I'll answer any of your questions. Like a few of you have done, send me your videos from the garden. They've all been fantastic, and I hope the answers I've been able to get back to you have been worthwhile. So see you all tomorrow for the next episode. Have a great day and stay safe.